Hey guys, Dabu7. I can't stress enough what's happening here. It is treason and crime at the highest level you could ever imagine. You hear about all these schemes and scams out there, but you're talking about the manipulation of gold, silver on the worldwide markets. A bank getting caught doing so. I've been talking about it for months, and now they're walking pretty much scot-free. This is the biggest heist and jacking of trillions of dollars you've ever seen, and they're basically getting a smack on the hand and told you pay $60 million and you get to walk, and that's what they did. And now they're exempt from this new law or this lawsuit that's going after banks, telling them that they can't do it. So they're trying to stop now with it's almost as if this whole thing was rigged this way, to where DB Bank just got the license to continue doing business. A smack on the hand, $60 million they paid, and they're going to now say all these other banks, they can't do this. But and they ain't going to be able to generate the money to pay the fine. Nothing like what these guys are doing. When you have people at the top tier and no one is policing them, it's just asking for corruption. This is one of the biggest heists that have ever taken place. They have stolen money from all of us globally. These are criminals. They just admitted to robbing from all of you and got a get out of jail free card, and they're free. This is criminal. These are individuals that belong in a jail cell, not to go back to their job to continue doing this. But that's exactly what's happening, if anyone cares. This affects all the markets globally. And when you see that guys like George Soros don't care that this happened, it shows you that that's how they got rich too. They were in on it. These are criminals. I'm not just saying that. This is true. They admitted to rigging and committing crimes, and not a one is going to spend a day in jail. This is high treason. This is global, what they're doing. And now they're making sure that any other smaller banks can't catch on to the loopholes. They're going to sew up their game and any mistakes they made this first time, and they're going to make it damn hard to get caught from here on out. And since they've paid the $60 million, they've worked out the settlement, they're pushing on. This is showing you that the whole game is rigged. So the day that it ever comes crashing down, you better know that just like the last time when JP Morgan and all them called in all their assets overnight, they set the depression into motion themselves. They did it. They planned it. They did it. They robbed the American people. Just like when I was Roosevelt, I'm not sure if it was Roosevelt or not, but one of the presidents called in all the gold decades and decades ago, forced everyone to have to turn in the gold, and then after that, raised the price on it. Yeah, confiscated it all pretty much. You see, when you control the metals, you control every other aspect in the game. You can rise and sink nations with what they're doing here. But yet you don't see those ripples, and none of the other countries seem to care. How come none of the other big dogs, Putin or no one else, the guys in China, no one seems to care that these markets have been rigged, that they got caught? It tells me that they all know then. You see? They have to. Or they would be downright outraged, ready to go to war. But they're not. They just don't care. How could that be? It's because the game is bigger than what most people out there think. The players on this world level are in on this together. They can sit there and make you think that we're at war with Russia and China, but all the true world leaders out there in the highest positions, they know the truth. There isn't going to be no big war. There's another influence here, and they know it. They worship it. So do the individuals that are within the highest ranks of these banks. They're of the same religion, so to speak. They get away with this because they've appointed on the judge and the juries and all these other political spots, they're buddies with the same religious beliefs that look at us and call us goyim. Bottom feeders. Have you ever read The Oath of the Jesuits? Maybe you should. And you'll see that they see themselves as a superior race. This is what you're dealing with, people. And they're going to continue taking your money, manipulating the gold, robbing you blind right in front of your face. Who's going to stop it? I'm serious. This is a red alert. I could say it all day long. But is it going to stick to people's heads? That's what counts. And a shout out to everybody out there that gets this information out there. Plays your part. I appreciate it. I see it. I see the cats out there that share it and do it. I pay attention. I watch. I see who's fighting the fight and who's not. So, this is where it sits. They're going to keep on manipulating the game. I can't stress enough how big this is. If anybody cares, they're going to keep on pushing. It has to come to an end. They're going to ruin this country overnight. Just like I said, J.P. Morgan and them called in everything overnight to cause the depression. They can do it again, and it's all on strings. And, the day that a true Robin Hood comes and takes all the money from these accounts and gives it back to the people, it wouldn't be a crime at all. It would be justice delivering what was stolen back to the people. This is Dabu 7. Killsec comes from out the shadows.